This is Moonshot Minute, the Friday Rant. AI, work, and the people caught in between. No fluff, just what's actually happening. 26 people are suing Meta, anonymously Doe 1 through Doe 26, because they still work in an industry that remembers names. They say Meta used internal AI systems to score, rank, and select employees for the 8,000 job Cut It set in motion this spring. And they say those systems punished anyone who had taken medical leave, parental leave, disability accommodation, or family leave. The tools have names: Metamate, Meta's internal AI assistant, second brain agents trained on a worker's own messages and files, continuous monitoring that pulls keystrokes, screen content, mouse movement, browser history, and email off company devices, token usage dashboards that sort people into categories, and Checkpoint, a performance program the complaint says turned how much you used AI into a measure of whether you were worth keeping. Here's the problem in one line. If your value is measured by activity, and activity means keystrokes, tokens, and messages, then a person on protected leave produces almost no data. The system does not see a human exercising a legal right. It sees a flat line, and a flat line reads as underperformance. That is not mysterious bias buried in a black box. It is arithmetic. The filings are specific, and the specifics are hard to read. One scientist was on approved prenatal leave. The layoff notice reached her while she was out. Her water broke the next day. She gave birth the day after. A designer whose parental leave was approved through September got her notice on May 20th, sitting at home with a newborn a few weeks old. She was the only person on her team on parental leave. A manager was demoted to individual contributor 5 days after he came back from medical leave. Many of the notices went out on May 20th, a number of them around 4 a.m. 8 of the plaintiffs are women who took pregnancy or maternity leave. 4 are men who took parental leave. All 26 had taken protected leave or requested a disability accommodation in the prior 2 years. One manager says his own supervisor warned him before he went out that taking medically approved leave would almost certainly land him on the list. He took the leave, he landed on the list. Meta's response has been consistent and blunt. The claims lack merit, and workforce decisions were made by people, not AI. Hold that against a detail from the reporting. Many direct managers were reportedly surprised by the layoff lists. Some were told the day before that they did not yet know who on their teams would be affected. On August 10th, Meta filed a brief arguing that the plaintiffs cannot qualify for an injunction reinstating them to their jobs. U.S. District Judge William H. Orrick denied the workers' emergency application for a temporary restraining order on July 17th, saying loss of employment and health care can be remedied through damages or back pay. The strongest argument for irreparable harm came from 4 ex-employees whose work visas were sponsored by Meta. Judge Orrick ordered Meta to submit a declaration answering whether it used AI when selecting those 4 workers. Meta submitted that declaration July 23rd via Human Resources Executive Lynn Doan. Her statement was unequivocal. Quote, selection decisions were made by human business leaders. AI was not used to conduct the reduction in force. AI did not select anyone for termination. AI did not assist anyone in making selection decisions, unquote. The company said, quote, human business leaders, unquote, based their decisions on, quote, neutral criteria, unquote, such as tenure and skills. Those criteria, quote, did not include leave status, leave history, disability status, or accommodation requests, unquote. A hearing on the plaintiff's motion for a preliminary injunction is set for August 24th. Sit with the timing. Meta moved to remake itself into an AI-first company. It committed to spending between $115 and $145 billion on AI in 2026, more than double the prior year. It reported record revenue the month before the cuts, and then it removed 8,000 people. The layoffs were not a company in troublemaking, painful math work. They were a company flush, choosing to convert people into capacity and using a scoring apparatus that quietly assigned the lowest value to those who had recently been pregnant, sick, or caregiving. Nobody has to write, quote, penalize medical leave, unquote, into a spec for that to be the result. The spec only has to reward presence and count absence as failure. The suffering is not a bug the system produced by accident. It is the output the system was built to generate. Meta is the headline because Meta got sued first. It will not be the last. A separate suit filed in March alleges Meta's 2025 layoffs cut older workers at higher rates than younger ones. A pattern is not a coincidence. The deeper risk belongs to everyone now bolting internal AI assistants, activity dashboards, and token metrics onto performance decisions. The regulators see it. California and New York City already have rules aimed at automated employment decision tools. The EU AI Act, in full effect this month, treats employment AI as high risk for exactly this reason. A model does not need malice to discriminate. It needs a metric that equates activity with worth and a business that never stops the clock while people use rights the law already guarantees. The punchline: when presence becomes the proxy for worth, every protected absence becomes a liability. The most human moments of a life, a birth, an illness, a recovery, get quietly repriced as risk. The uncounted are the ones whose protected absences registered as flatlines on a score that decided their fate. The ones whose value the system could not read because the law had told them correctly that they were allowed to step away. If you run a team and you want to make sure your workforce decisions don't become the next headline, that is the work we do at Moonshot. Visit moonshotconsultingdc.com or send me a DM. That is your Friday Moonshot Minute. Adapt accordingly, and bye for now.